Hey everybody, it's Angie from Trips with Angie, and I am here on the Norwegian Prima, and I can't wait to show you around. In this video, I'm going to do a walk-through ship tour, as well as cover our spa balcony cabin. Was it worth it? What did I think of the thermal suite? So let's go! We'll start the tour in deck 6 aft, the rear of the ship. The Commodore room is one of the including dining options. It's open for dinner each evening. You can make reservations by visiting the reservations desk, or we just walked up and were able to get a table pretty easily most nights. Just don't plan on going around 7:30. That seems to be when everyone on the ship wants to go. So go earlier around 6 or later around 8:30 or 9. This is the Belvedere bar right outside the Commodore room. Each bar has their own specialty cocktails, so it's fun to kind of go around and try the different cocktails everywhere. Cagney's is a specialty dining option. It is the steakhouse. It's available a la carte, so meaning you'll get a menu with prices for each item, or you can get a specialty dining package as a promotion a lot of the time with Norwegian. So there's a lot of fun seating around here. All of the different areas on the ship have fun different themes. Now here's the bathroom if you're looking for it. So it's right in front of Cagney's, so coming across the ship from the Commodore room. The Prima has a very large casino for the size of the ship. It has both smoking and non-smoking options. The smoking section is behind those glass doors. So it is smaller than the non-smoking section, but the non-smoking section does not smell like smoke. So I think that's a huge plus for those who like to gamble without smoke. Now we're heading into the atrium area. So on Norwegian, like some of the other ships, 6, 7, and 8 is considered the atrium area. This is the stage area where the live music plays in the evening. And then you can see there's not a ton of seating here to listen to live music. And look at the ceiling. The overhang covers the whole band, so you can't see it from the upper decks. I don't like this at all. Also on deck 6, you're going to find the cruise next decks. This is where you'll check in if you have any questions about your latitude perks, or if you wanted to purchase a deposit or book a future cruise. Then you have some shops, the officer's information in case you wanted to take note of who your captain was this sailing. There is duty-free shopping on board. Here is the box office. So here's where you'll stop if you want to make reservations for the entertainment or the shows. We actually had to line up in the theater upon embarkation to make those reservations. Down here is the Penrose bar. Now this is very unique for Norwegian. You can see there's video poker machines lining the bar here in the atrium. And you'll have the entrance to the very bottom level of the theater here on deck 6. The 3 big shows on our sailing were Summer, the Donna Summer musical, Noise Boys, and Price is Right. So here's a setup for Summer, which is phenomenal. A little tip here, there are cup holders in the seats. It takes a minute to find them. So look down by your feet, lift up, and then pull down. And now you have a cup holder. Now, the cool thing about this theater is it can transform from a traditional theater with seats to a nightclub. And here's how they do it. So this is a little time lapse. They fold down all the chairs, then they start rolling them back in one layer at a time, and then they bring out the lounge seating. This is so cool. So it turns from a traditional theater, like you saw with the seats and the cup holders, into a fun nightclub. Definitely head after the Summer the musical. Now heading towards the elevator banks, there are 2 sets of elevators in each bank. Up to deck 7, this is where you'll find another entrance into the theater. On deck 7, you can access an outside deck, but it's not the most pleasurable experience. However, if you'd really like to take a peek at a lifeboat, this is your chance to do it. Now you'll see here on the sign, it says Prima Club. So that's the nightclub they're talking about when they transform the theater into a nightclub. Definitely check it out after Summer, the Donna Summer musical, because the cast come back out. It's really, really fun. So here on deck 7, again, you're going to have the open atrium. The acoustics are terrible if you're trying to listen to music from up here. Straight across is one of the Starbucks. Starbucks is not included in the regular drinks package, but you can upgrade to have Starbucks included. The guest services desk and the onboard credit question desk is here on deck 7 as well. Across the way there is also the shore excursions desk if you have any questions. On deck 7, you'll find some of the higher end jewelry and watches. They tried a new design here on the Prima where the jewelry shops are almost like little stands as you walk through the hallways. I'm not sure I love it. It feels a little weird to be walking past someone talking about buying, $10,000
piece of jewelry or a, a beautiful handbag. But I think more people are looking at the items now that they're kind of in the way as you walk through. Deck 7 is also art central. So if you are a big fan of the art auctions, this is where the art office is going to be located. The art auctions take place in the 2 different rooms I'm about to show you now. So Sid Norman's Poorhouse is one of the hardest spots on board to get into. It features a special band that is just dedicated to this area. So you head on in. Now look how small this space is. It has a wonderful rock memorabilia. So if you could head in when it's not busy and look around at all the pictures, I highly recommend it. But there is very little seating. This is definitely a standing room only type of experience. And I think that's what they wanted. Definitely don't miss Rumors by Fleetwood Mac show. It's absolutely incredible. It's worth getting there 45 minutes early to try to find a spot. Improv at Sea is where the comedy takes place. You do need reservations for this, again, because this is a very small venue. Sid Norman's, you cannot get reservations. This is also where trivias are going to be located. They may have art auctions in here, but again, you definitely want to get reservations for the comedy show. For us on board, we had to go to the theater right at Embarkation to make those reservations. They weren't working through the app. The Improv at Sea does have a bar. This was being set up for a private event. We're going to make a right here at the elevator bank. So these are the midship elevators, and head to Le Bistro. Le Bistro is another of the specialty dining options. It's a French restaurant and it is a la carte. So you'll get a menu. It has the price of each item that you want to order, but you can book or buy a specialty dining package. A lot of times it's included as the free at sea promotion. So this is one of the options you can choose. And then if you're a Latitudes Platinum member, you can come here and actually get a free bottle of wine, which is fun. Now heading back, we're in that same hallway again, just next to the comedy club. So we came back by the elevators. The first thing we're going to find is the Humidor Cigar Lounge. So this is a totally enclosed cigar lounge for those of you who'd like to enjoy. Some smell does escape. So if you are sensitive to that, you kind of want to avoid this as much as you can. This is the Metropolitan Bar. It's really fun in the evening. Our bartenders were lovely, and the Chocolate Cowboy, who I absolutely adore. So it was fun to see them. Nama is another specialty option. Again, a la carte. You buy the sushi by the item, and it has a nice sushi bar, or you can choose to sit at the table. Reservations are recommended, but this one was a little bit easier to get into than Cagney's or Le Bistro. I guess it's just not quite as popular to have sushi. Now, these are the teppanyaki tables. This is $59 per person. Reservations are absolutely required. This area also served as the place once the cruise started. You could go to make dining reservations. So again, on the first day, we all had to line up in the theater to make dining and entertainment reservations. The app was not working on the January 8th sailing, but you could come here to make reservations. And then here is Hudson's. Hudson's is an included dining option. It serves breakfast every day, lunch on sea days, and dinner every day. It's my favorite between Hudson's and Commodore Room. The food was great. You can make reservations, or you can just show up and they may give you a beeper if there's not a table available. Welcome to Deck 8, and we're in the aft of the ship. So this is where Ocean Boulevard and the Indulge Food Hall are. I think Norwegian did a terrific job with both these concepts. I have some other issues with the ship, and I'll talk more about that in my review. Hopefully you're subscribed and have notifications turned on so you'll get notified when I post that in the upcoming week. So basically what they did is they created these little mini pool decks. So you have your chaise loungers. It also happens to be where the dry slides come down. They start up on deck 18 and come all the way down here to deck 8. Now, just a warning about these slides, there are points of friction in the slide. So you may hit a point where you come to a stop and have to shimmy your way to get going again. Don't freak out. Just start shimmying. Then they have these beds, which are in about 6 inches of water. I don't really get this concept. So if this is something you really like, can you comment and let me know why? What big deal is? You just like having your feet in water? I'm not sure. But the big draw are these infinity edge pools. These were very popular on our sailing, especially during sail away, because you can watch as they throw the lines and pull away from the dock. Then there's more lounge chairs, and then you get into the Indulge Food Hall outdoor seating. So Hydrate, this opens up at lunch and dinner that has self-service beer. And they have all these great seating options. I think this area is so beautiful. They have so many different colors and textures and types of seating. You can have big groups or small intimate groups that are blacked out in different ways. I'm sorry it's a little choppy. I was trying to cut around people. There's also a bar out here, the Soleil bar. So if you wanted to sit at the bar and have that great view of the wake, you can have that. And then you'll also be able to gather with a group. So they have seating set up so that 6 people could sit together, 8 people could sit together. I think that's missing on a lot of other ships. You want to travel in groups, but when you do, there aren't a lot of areas where you could all gather together. And so this area of the Indulged Food Hall works for that. And then they also have your traditional tables and chairs for if you're eating. So you can order out here from the Indulged Food Hall. Now we're going to head into the Indulged Food Hall. This is a unique concept. It's open for breakfast, which just has quick takeaway items. I'll talk more about that in my dining review that's coming up. Or you can sit and order from an iPad. Now, when you sit and order at one of the tables from an iPad, you can order from any of the venues I'm about to show you. So this right here is the rotisserie. Seaside Rotisserie. This has all kinds of grilled meats. They have this really good turkey breast. You sit here and then you order on the iPad and they bring you the food right away. The Garden is made to order salads. You can customize them with the protein or just get the ones that are already established. You also will be able to find just quick take desserts here at Just Desserts right by the Garden. And this was kind of our favorite spot to sit. Tapas has fun appetizer options. Think, meats and cheeses, chorizo. You'll also be able to have the little Airstream trailer, which I think is so cute. That houses the Latin quarter. So your chips and guacamole, your traditional Latin items. Tamara was incredible Indian food. We love the Indian food from here. We ordered it basically every meal. Terrific curries and rice dishes. The free beverage station is right next to Tamara. So this is your coffee, hot tea, lemonade, iced tea, some juices, and water. Up here is noodles, so this has different stir-fry noodle options. Now, a little bit of warning, if you sit at the bar here, you can only order items from that restaurant. You'll want to sit at a table to be able to order from all of the different venues. Q is the smokehouse. You may remember it from some of the breakaway class ships. And this is your traditional barbecue options. This also has some really good grab-and-go sandwiches for breakfast. Coco's is extra charged dessert items. These are not included. You can buy different kinds of shakes or very fancy desserts, but just ice cream is included. So if you wanted to have just a sweet ice cream treat. Now heading back out, we're on the other side of the ship now, and you'll notice it's basically the same. So it's a mirror image on both sides. You're going to have that infinity pool, the chaise loungers, the beds in the water, and then you're also going to have the area where a dry slide will come down. Now this is going to be the drop slide that drops down from deck 18. Continuing along the port side of deck 8 towards the front of the ship, we're going to find the outdoor seating for the local. The local is an included dining option. It's open almost 24 hours. I think it closes for about two and a half hours during the day. The drop slide ends right in front of the outdoor seating for the local. And if you'll notice, the drop slide goes through people's balconies. I think this was a surprise. I don't think it was on the original deck plan when the Prima was designed. So people booked cabins and ended up with a slide running right through it. Also outside here, we're going to find the outdoor seating for Los Lobos. Los Lobos is the Mexican specialty restaurant. It is a la carte, so prices per item, or it can be included as part of a specialty dining package. I do love that Norwegian has all of these outdoor seatings. I think they really innovated it, and a lot of other cruise companies have picked it up. Onda by Scarpetta is the Italian, and that also has outdoor seating. On either side of the ship, you're going to find these glass walkways that go out, and then here are my little hidden gem areas. You know I love to find those hidden gems if you're a subscriber. And here it is, deck 8, midship, just in front of the outdoor seating for Onda. You're going to find binoculars and these lovely little couches. You can walk all the way around deck 8, which is nice to have a deck you can walk all the way around. As far as it being a walking track, you're definitely going to have to dodge a lot of chairs and loungers and people, but you can walk all the way around. And I think it's pretty interesting to get such an up-close view of the anchor. Now, on the other side of deck 8, it's going to be exactly the same. We're going to have those loungers and binoculars. Here you're getting a glimpse of Jamaica. We were docked in Ocho Rio, Jamaica when I filmed this in January of 2023. You have the glass walkway again, and then you can see that slide coming down the side of the building. Now, on the starboard side of deck 8, you're going to find the sculpture garden. So Norwegian invested a lot in these sculptures and promoting arts, and there's a lot of art all around the ship. And in fact, if you look, each piece of art has a QR code that lets you know more about the artist or the work of art. Let's pop back into deck 8 here at the photo gallery. First, we're going to walk towards the back of the ship, and here we'll find the local. The local is one of the included dining establishments. One side is the sports bar. That's the side we're on now. They show different sporting events. They put in the program what sports will be available. We were there during the NFL playoffs, so they put in the program what games would be shown at the local. You can order food here. Food's available almost 24 hours a day. There's 3 hours that it closes, but they have a breakfast menu, a lunch and dinner menu, and a snack menu. Directly across from the local entrance is Las Lobos. We saw the outdoor seating for this. This is the Mexican specialty restaurant. So again, this would be included if you purchased a specialty dining package, or you can pay by the item a la carte. Back to the photo gallery. The photo gallery has all of the photos that have been taken by the ship's photographers. You can pull them up digitally. And then this big screen is called the Imagination Wall, and you can play interactive games. And it's really fun. So great for kids. They have all these fun interactive things. You can learn to be a wizard. Heading forward more on deck 8, we'll find some more shops, duty-free shops, as these independent stands versus having those enclosed stores. Now, if you're on a scavenger hunt and you need to find the bottle of champagne that was used as part of the naming ceremony, it's here on deck 8. We'll find another shop, and then overlooking the atrium once again, you can hear some of the music up here. Perspective Studios is a professional photography studio. You'd sign up here for a full photo shoot session. This is a little different than just grabbing a professional photographer set up around the ship. On deck 8, we'll find the Whiskey Bar. This is a bar themed around whiskey. Good name, huh? You'll find a Woodford Old Fashioned here, as well as some other specialty cocktails featuring whiskeys or bourbons. The bars all have different menus, so if you want to try a wide range of cocktails, you're going to have to bar hop. The entrance to Onda by Scarpetta is just off the whiskey bar. We saw the outdoor seating for this when we ran around deck 8. This is the Italian restaurant. It's absolutely wonderful. So highly recommend having a meal there. You can get it included in your specialty dining package or pay a la carte. There's all these secret stairwells that lead all around the atrium, so keep an eye out for those. Definitely don't want to trip and fall down one, but it does make it nice to easily move in between floors 6, 7, and 8. On 8, we have the very top entrance to the theater. This is going to be your highest level seats. I don't know that they're that great of a view. I recommend getting deck 7 or deck 6 if you can for the Broadway shows, because these are full-length Broadway productions and you don't want to miss a thing. Up to deck 16 and the spa and our spa balcony cabin. We're in cabin 16120, spa balcony. The back of the door will have your muster station information. We were in A8, which is part of the theater. Then there's this super weird open closet area, which has the capacity for you to hang things, but you actually can't because all of the hangers are attached to the pole, which also means you don't have the chance to use this extra shelf. So they have this great design where you can add the extra shelf and move the things around, but they don't give you the hangers to actually let you do it. So a little design flaw here, but we like the closet design with the hanging and then with the pull out little drawers at the bottom. But we did think the cabin needed one more set of drawers, which that pull down shelf would have accomplished if we could have moved the hangers around. The bathroom was a great size. I was really happy with the bathroom. There's a ton of storage in there. There's a terrific shower head. You had the Loctane shampoo, conditioner, body wash, great size shower. Then into the main cabin, you have a small sofa as well as the open design bed. You can put your suitcases underneath. There's a little desk area. I like that they put the handle on the stool so it's easier to move around. You have your mini fridge. You can buy things and put them in there from on board. The hair dryer is right there next to where you would blow dry your hair in front of the mirror. This sofa was a little small, but I mean, perfect for 2 people. You'll also have plenty of outlets throughout the room. So you have the 2-drawer nightstand, and then you have plugs right next to the desk, 2 sets of these plugs, as well as plugs right next to the bed. So one side of the bed will have a plug, super easy to use the CPAP machine. You have the television. Now the other side of the bed gets this teeny tiny nightstand, and only the plugs there are the USBs through the light. Love this balcony. It's actually one of the bigger Norwegian balconies we've had. Now to the spa. This is the beauty salon. Note, it does not have windows. First pedicure I've had on a cruise ship without a view, but it is a beauty salon. So all the different types of treatments. There's also a barber shop. This is the thermal suite. So this is the thalassotherapy area. You can see this from the check-in desk, which I think is a little odd. So you see everyone enjoying their bubbles as you check in for your different spa treatments and massages. To get to the steam room, sauna, and showers, you'll enter the doors marked experiential spa journey. They have a steam room that was kind of hit or miss, 3 different saunas, a salt room, and an aromatherapy room. They also have different showers where you press the button and it has like a light and water journey. There are heated loungers next to the thalassotherapy pools. To get to the thermal lounge, you'll head down the hallway and make a right, and then you'll enter into the thermal lounge. I do like that they removed it from the pool area, so it's even quieter than we've had on other thermal suite experiences. Has beautiful floor to ceiling windows, lots of seating options, heated loungers and non-heated loungers, which I actually like. I like the cushion loungers better than the heated loungers. So this is a lovely spot to relax. Also on deck 16, all the way forwards, you'll find Pulse, which is the fitness center. So you'll walk through the spa to get there. Locker rooms are down on deck 15 if you need them. They have your cardio equipment, weightlifting equipment, and offer different courses. Up to deck 17, we'll find Galaxy Pavilion. This is where all of your virtual reality dreams can come true. Everything behind these doors is an extra charge. For the virtual reality, you can pay per experience, a day pass, or a week pass. There's also a golf simulator. You can pay to use that. And there's 2 escape rooms. There's a magic themed escape room and an animal themed escape room. They're $15 per person. They take up to 6 people. The magic room is more like a traditional escape room where you have to find a clue that leads to another clue. I highly recommend the animals room. You have to find 8 idols hidden throughout the room through a number of different challenges. It's really good because you may be in there with strangers. So it was 2 of us and 3 people from another family. And it was nice because the 2 of us could work on trying to find one idol while the 3 worked on another. Also here at the front of deck 17, you'll find the observation lounge. Now this is quite a bit smaller if you've been on some of the Breakaway Plus ships like the Encore, the Joy, or the Bliss, but it still has that nice cozy homey feel, the floor to ceiling windows. You'll find a bar there. It's not quite as busy as some of the other bars or as big as the bars, especially on the Encore. They have that full circle bar. It does get pretty busy, so you want to scope out your seat early, but it was just a nice place to relax and enjoy all of the views. The observation lounge has a small continental breakfast, things like cereal, milk, fruits, pastries, muffins, and one hot item like this egg white wrap. Also between 3 and 5 daily, they have afternoon snacks. So in case you get a little bit hungry, head up here to the observation lounge. Continuing on deck 17, we'll find the main pool deck. Now this is going to look a little bit smaller than some of the other ships you've seen. You have the whirlpools on either side of the deck, so those Infinity Edge whirlpools. But remember, you have those mini pool decks down on deck 8. So they're trying to spread people out around the ship. Now, of course, you have the Waves pool bar. They would never get rid of that. This is always 6-7 people deep, and that little machine is frozen rosé. And then the wave water slide is here, and I'll show you that when we go through how to enter. Surfside Cafe is the buffet. It's open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then they have all different kinds of items. We were very impressed. There were not a lot of items on this buffet, but they were all very, very good. They had a diverse selection. They have, your pizza, your noodles. And then at the very back of the buffet, you're going to find the grill. So this is where you're going to get your hamburgers, hot dogs, French fries. So that's going to be at the very back of the buffet. It is kind of a bummer you have to put on shoes and a cover up from the pool to head to the grill. Vibe Beach Club is an extra charge area. I'm going to have a full review. We did a week here, whether or not I thought it was worth it. So be sure to subscribe and turn notifications on to see that. So you pay a weekly fee and you're able to access this area. It's open till about 6 o'clock in the evening. They have great lounge chairs, day beds, 2 whirlpools. I think they're supposed to be hot tubs, but they weren't hot during our stay. Up on deck 18, directly overlooking the Vibe, is the Speedway Bar. Now, the Speedway Bar does not overlook the Speedway. The Drops dry slide entrance is right here as well. So you can see those brief information. There's a weight limit, there's a height minimum, there's a height maximum. And as I said before, you need to be prepared to scooch a little bit, because when you hit the clear area of the slide, you slow way down. The mini golf course is included. There's an extra charge you can pay to supercharge it, so you play different interactive games, but just the basic mini golf is included. I think this golf course is so cute. Let me know what you think. It's very compact, so it can get a bit crowded if there's several teams playing, but I think it's really cute, it's really fun, and it's a good use of space. Also in this area is Bullseye. So these different darts area are an extra charge. We paid $20 for 1 hour, and it's an interactive golf game, very similar to Top Golf. If you have Top Golf, the darts register where they hit, and then the computer tallies up your score. Then you have the entrance to the Speedway. The Haven guests have a special entrance, and then you can also pay for an ultimate Speedway pass for the week, so you get unlimited rides. Otherwise, the rides are $15 per ride. There is maximum height and a minimum height, as well as a maximum weight, and they do weigh you. So it's a green means go, red means stop situation, but if you do weigh more, don't try it. They're going to figure it out. You also have a viewing platform and area. They keep a leaderboard throughout the week, and then they'll have a trophy ceremony on the last day for whoever had the fastest time around the race course. They have different times, so sometimes you can ride 2 people to a cart, sometimes people you can ride 1 person to a cart. They also have solo track hours where you can ride by yourself around the track. I think this is for those people really trying to maximize their leaderboard. So just moving on from the entrance, you'll find the stadium. So this is where there's a lot of fun games. This area is included and it's first come, first serve, but you do need closed-toed shoes. You have 3 shuffleboard tables, and then they have this very unique ping pong setup, which I think is very fun. So it's a large circular ping pong, and you can hit it off of all sides. You have a dedicated pickleball court. Then you sit on this and then kick a ball back and forth, kind of like foot soccer. You have your beer pong tables, which is funny because food and drinks aren't allowed. So you're just practicing your aim, foosball tables, and then you have your more traditional ping pong tables. Back down on deck 17, directly across from the buffet, you'll find Palomar and Food Republic. These are additional charge specialty restaurants. You pay a la carte, or you can look to have it included as part of your specialty dining package. Food Republic is Asian fusion. Palomar is a seafood restaurant. I highly recommend Palomar. We had a wonderful meal there. The grilled octopus was terrific. They also have this salt baked fish that is quite the stunner. It comes tableside. They take it all apart. So if you're really into fish, this is a great option. It has indoor, and then here is the outdoor seating. Now heading up onto deck 18 from the pool deck, you walk right by the wave slide, and then this is where you're going to find the little kids splash area. So we are on deck 18 here, kind of midship, just above where the main pool deck area is. So you have lounge chairs, a small splash park, and then this is on the other side. I believe this is the smoking area. So this is the smoking area sun deck. The wave slide again has height and weight restrictions, so you want to make sure you meet those. And you head up these stairs here. There's an additional sun deck area and entrance to the water slide. You also get a great view of the racetrack from the wave entrance.
So that was the Norwegian Prima. What did you think? Stay tuned. There's more videos coming, including my full review with all my personal opinions, as well as a dining guide. Hopefully you'll subscribe so they can appear in your feed.